Hey, how's it going? So today we are watching The Thing from 1982, and before you even start, this isn't a standalone Marvel movie. This is a horror film from John Carpenter starring Kurt Russell and I'm sure some other people. But first, let's get those ads out of the way, Rogan style. And they're not necessarily ads. These are just friends of myself, and maybe they offer you guys a little something. And in this case, I'm talking about Nork Flatware. That's KNORK.net. Use the promo code FRY45 at checkout to get 45% off the best fork knife combination utensil ever made. These are forged, not cold press. There's a finger platform so that you can cut into food without cutting into your finger. And no, you don't slice into food with a serrated edge. It's beveled. It does not cut your mouth up. It will change your life. Please, nork.net, fry45 at checkout. Let's see. I've got some other kind of like deals I'm working on. Maybe I'll put mention of them here. Though the thing is that the links are going to have to be somewhere in the comments because these are not sorted out to be long codes just yet. And yeah, I think we're ready to get on with our movie. So I'm watching this on Starz, and if you'd like to stream your viewing of The Thing on Starz, you need to go ahead, start that up, get through the little Starz promo for something else that they're showing, and get back to 000000 and hit play now. Oh no, it still says Starz. Yeah, so you are going to be thrown off a bit here because you're going to get your Starz, the movies rated this and whatever. Now a Universal picture, right? Okay. And hold on a sec. I'm going to reach around here and grab me a Mountain Dew. Ennio Morricone, recently deceased. Also, while I am taking in this commentary, special effects created and designed by Rob Bottin. That's the real star of the movie right here, guys. While I am enjoying a Mountain Dew made with real sugar, they're not calling it Mountain Dew Throwback, though the display said Throwback. It's kind of weird. I am also going to be having Reese's Pieces, one of my favorite candies. Not sponsored. Should be. Very, I usually know my fonts, but I couldn't quite guess what this is. But we have a kind of solemn music. And the font is fairly stoic looking, isn't it? It's not really alien. But oh, here we go. Now, why am I watching The Thing? Well, because it's available, and the intro, that first shot is very similar to what they did in Predator after the fact. They added that to Predator, and honestly, I think it's fine in Predator. I don't have a big gripe with it. I think it would just seem so out of left field if there wasn't an alien craft going by to make some kind of explanation. The title, oh, I forgot the technique they used this, but they burned away something and against an aquarium, I believe, to make this reveal with the light bleed going through, and it looks really sweet. And that's actually in reference to the Thing from Another World, the original film of which this is a remake. There are remakes in the 80s that actually best the original, the cover songs and this movie. Now you're kind of wondering what's the real point of having a remake when they didn't even have CGI about? Well, they went for a total different tone. They were able to invoke more dread. There were less restrictions in Hollywood. It was kind of fair game, and much of the 80s stuff, it's no holds barred. There's just no telling what could happen in an 80s movie. Look at this guy, a real helicopter. Ah, the vast white of Antarctica. You know, you go and you shoot a movie in Antarctica, right? It's not going to look that much different now, is it? Admit your quarters could be a little more techish, understandable, but the terrain hasn't changed. What's going on? We just got this nice husky just kind of prancing around. You know, what could be the problem? Now, the remake reboot sequel came out, 2001? No, sorry, 2011. They titled it The Thing, and they should have called it something else because it seemed to have been about the base before this base that we're coming to. So these would have been characters that were on the previous base that was infested by the Thing. So we're already starting the movie with people who've had an issue with the Thing. I don't think those were real shots getting fired there with that sound effect. Just last night, I had streamed another John Carpenter film called Prince of Darkness, and it was pretty bad. I will probably be talking about that later. Not in this video, but you get what I'm saying. Yes, Wilford Brimley, still hanging on. Him and Sean Connery, as of this saying, the only actors to play grandparents in the 80s who are still with us. This movie does a fair job of giving characterization to some of the characters. MacReady here, Kurt Russell, it does a job. Simple scene right here. He's got computer chess out in the middle of nowhere. He's got his whiskey, right? Chess wizard, huh? When this movie came out, the best computers were not beating the best human chess players. What's he gonna do? Fry the computer. Screw it. Yeah. Doesn't matter. No chance of getting that repaired. He's just done with chess. There's an attitude to that. I don't see it in a lot of contemporary films. If I say contemporary, does that make it sound like I'm talking about films of the ilk of 1982? Or in the case there, I meant modern, today movies? And there's so many problems with trying to do a prequel, rebootish remake as they ran into. They did start to do the CGI. They had a great effects team on it. Amalgamated Dynamics. I keep messing up their names. Alec Gillis and co. And they did over all of their effects with CGI. And part of what he had said was that it's actually cheaper to go with CGI, especially if you go to CGI first. It's going to be way cheaper to go that route. Yeah, the Norwegians, crazy Norwegians. Dude really had his helicopter loaded up for battle with this thing. I mean, you come out of this fight and it's just one dog thing, and you've got a helicopter and grenades and a rifle. You're not doing that bad. I mean, you're kind of faring better than the Americans over here end up. I say it does a fair job with the characterization. Everybody seems realistic enough. I just can't really vouch for the traits of most of the cast. They just seem to be fodder. This movie did not fare well at the box office. Oh boy. Kind of funny moment. Ooh, real explosions. And this movie looks so good too. It has a film look to it, but it's not excessively grainy. My first real viewing of this came on the Sci-Fi Channel when the Sci-Fi Channel played a lot of the classic sci-fi, and maybe they've done some more of that lately. It certainly was a moment where they got in bed with the Asylum and just churned out mega octopus shark versus tentacled wizard lady, you know? Guy's shooting at a dog and you have to take him down? I mean, come on. If any of you knew Norwegian, you would have been on board with this. We would have gotten this movie out of the way already. Oh, I know I'm supposed to know who that actor is, but I don't. How obnoxious is my taking a sip of Mountain Dew and grabbing some Reese's Pieces? Comment below. Alright, we're just going to bring this dog in, put it with the other dogs. I have some issues with how the thing operates. And oh yeah, that guy, he was in Risky Business, wasn't he? Dude who just approached the dog. It's hard to place a name for most of these characters. Okay, we have a couple black guys, but we have a lot of white guys with beards, truthfully. The shot barely grazed you. Oh yeah, you get shot all the time. You just talk about it being grazed, huh? I'm probably at that point in my life where it turns out I'm older than most of the people in this movie. But I just don't look it, I think. Hope. The odd side of Wilford Brimley without a mustache, not talking about diabetes. This guy on the radio, he was in the Warriors. Was he the one that got thrown into the subway? Kind of didn't deserve it either. Heck, I could be wrong, but this black dude on the skates may have been in the Warriors too. We have a blue collar crew here. This older gentleman, he seems a bit more boss type, but I don't know if all these guys would necessarily be hanging out in this environment for as long as they have to. It's a little odd. I can never get the name of one of these guys right. Is it Keith David or David Keith? I know he's the arbiter in the Halo saga, as well as in They Live with John Carpenter, and the original voice of Xbox promos. There's no power greater than X, right? Yep, that helicopter did blow up. Kurt Russell will always have hair. I have the subtitles turned on. They really force them to the left corner. This movie is fairly straightforward as plot is concerned, but it's a who goes there, who guessing game, who's actually it, and we're picking off each other. We're playing with our own paranoia. As the effects of the real star, I mean, as simple as a lot of this comes across, the effects stand out most of the time. Like 95% of the time, the effects are really outstanding. Didn't get much in the way of accolades. This was butting heads during the summer of '82 against E.T., the extraterrestrial. So extra, that terrestrial. I think many who, as they mature, they become more appreciative of the thing than they do E.T. I don't see a lot of people talking about E.T. In fact, I may come across more people wanting my thoughts on the thing. It's a pretty good movie. I think it could be a little overrated because people have over-evaluated it at times. So, like I said, not everybody has traits in this movie. I also have issue with how the thing operates. The creature's endocrinology, its tactics. I think there are times where the plot holes present themselves, and then it's just kind of like, oh, well, this guy's the thing now. And also, does it not take over multiple bodies? Doesn't it seem like that would be within its capabilities to, okay, I was the dog, now I'm this guy. Also, I've brought him on board. He's a thing too. But instead, it seems to act like only one being can be the thing at a time. Although, visually, it would appear as though multiple can be. And if that's the case, and especially as quick as it can act at times, that dog could have just jumped everybody right at the beginning. It would have been game over. Nobody would have been able to react fast enough. What's the commotion? People coming out of the bunker, and it's gone. First-time viewer doesn't really know what the deal is with the dog. Norwegian just needed that dog dead, I guess. Not a huge fan of fades to black. They do happen. They happen way too often in trailers. Gonna load up one of our good shoppers. Go find out what happened with the Norwegians. And how would you like to have to climb out of your bed in Antarctica in the morning just to get a shot of a helicopter going by for a couple seconds, huh? Oi, they did not do so good. Pretty easy to set dress a burned down shack, right? We're going to land a real helicopter in a real movie shot on film, guys. You can't get that today. For all that expense and technology we have, we can't be bothered to do that in today's movies. No, we need Scarlett Johansson casually, with the help of CGI, taking a motorcycle underneath a semi-truck. I mean, you could have said knock knock. If you are Swedish, are you constantly being mistaken as Norwegian and vice versa? Is there a visual tell? Like sometimes you might be able to tell Korean chicks from Japanese chicks. Oh, we got a blood splattered axe. And as frozen as this all gotten, you have to wonder for how long ago was the struggle? For how long were they fighting the thing? I don't think these icicles would just form so quickly, would they? You burn down your shack a little bit, you get some holes in it. The next day, you're going to have these 2-foot long icicles. What do we got here? Kerosene lantern even in use today in this situation? Does any Antarctic research base deploy such a device? Slit wrist, ooh. And throat. Good. How do you... Probably not suicide. Now I have to wonder, is the dead body there also a thing, but it's frozen and as such not operating? Because we understand that the extreme temperatures are bothersome for this alien creature. Now I have to wonder if their ship at the beginning was put in post, maybe begrudgingly against the director's will, a la Predator's case too. Portable video unit. Who says such a thing? Well, you're probably not going to like what you find. Look at the stark darkness, the contrast with the snow. So they had found a block. They pulled something out of a block of ice. They'd cut it out. I think they end up going to the site and taking a look at it. I can't remember if there were different cuts of this movie. It seems like a kind of movie that you would have multiple cuts of that would get released maybe in theaters, and all Blade Runner. Another sci-fi movie of 82 with quality effects that didn't fare so well at the box office. Ooh. How did we miss these guys? Kerosene is almost the MacGuffin of the movie. It's like the magical sauce. Whatever it is, they burned it up in a hurry. So that was probably a thing that got burned. Leading you to believe that multiple things at a time. Maybe there originally were multiple, but the Norwegians whittled it down to one. You know, other countries are so forgiving of learning English, and whereas Americans are like, screw it, we only speak English. The Norwegians should have been yelling at them in some kind of language they would have picked up on, right? At the beginning, and we wouldn't have a movie. What would you yell? There's an emergency. That's not a dog. It's an alien creature. Stop it. I have so many issues with how the thing operates in the way that when is it able to attack? Is it ever truly dead? This one seems to stay dead the whole movie. Though it's fleshy enough, one would think, can you cut it up and then all of a sudden it starts attacking you? It can just attack so suddenly, too. Just all of a sudden, the blood just forms up and now it's on you and you're done. There's nothing you can do. So even if this thing had any capability at all, being around it right now, these guys are all done. I'm not sure if that's burned enough. Though Rob O'Teen, I think he's like, might have been 27 and did all of the creature stuff himself. Very prominent credit for that, too. Thank goodness. This guy, he was really working overtime and then some to get all the stuff ready for the movie. They got a good transfer of this up on Starz. When I saw this back in the day, and it really wasn't all that long ago. Well, relative early 2000s on the Sci-Fi Channel. It looked great on TV. And there's not a lot of 80s films, early 80s that is, that looked brand new on a CRT 480p TV on cable. I think having quality DP work, director of photography, allows a movie to have a chance to pick up some kind of steam afterwards, get that cult classic status. So many nice fleshy guts we're messing with here, huh? Don't mistake that for human, dudes. I mean, look at the face. Now, let me ask you this. Wilford Brimley's doing the autopsy. It has now gone dark. Has he been infected as the thing and he's the thing right now? We just didn't see it happen? Thus, leading us to believe that that burned thing is not truly dead. Totally dead. Well, of course the black guy wants a joint. Come on. You know they're going to be bunkered down for a while. They gave them some pretty good amenities for the day. We got a full-size pool table, jukebox, poker table. I see a pinball machine, a bar. And the weird thing is that you don't get any sense of any research they're doing. You don't see what a normal day of research looks like at this joint. This dog has been wandering around long enough. Go hang out with the other dogs. The other dogs, they should be on pins and needles here. They should be able to sense that there's something up with this and be barking at it, you know, letting this guy know that something's amiss. It's not real usual dog behavior, is it? Just, okay, how do dogs sit down? Okay, I guess I'm going to just sit like this now. Okay. Now, in 1982, favored the friendly alien. This movie, totally different story here. This scene might go so overboard with the gruesomeness to deter many of viewers. Yeah, we just had a dog's face split open. We're watching the origin of many of video game creatures. Now the tendrils, how does this work? If it gets you at all, are you done? Can the dogs bite this thing to death, or is there just no chance of that? Oh no, it's spitting all over him. And does that mean that that dog's now a thing? As soon as the spit's on you, it's so hard to understand what the rules are for the thing. All right, the dogs are barking. I'll go check. What is it this time? It was so dark there, I couldn't tell what we were looking at. He saw something in the ceiling. See, we had two dogs get out there. Are those thing dogs? I can't tell. I think we should have believed the Norwegians now. I'm starting to think, was it only the 2011 remake where they went to the craft? But the craft I'm thinking of here is the one Wilford Brimley tries to build. Because I thought there was a whole craft in the ice. And I know at the end of the 2011 movie, there's an extensive craft in the ice deal. Oh, look at the gooiness. Screeching, snarling. Oh boy, that looks bad. I'm thinking the only way you can do that is to roll that backwards, pulling the tendrils off after they've been wrapped around. Shooting the dog that has been, I don't know, it's assimilated. Do they merge it into one body so it makes one big thing? Is that how it works? Can you not have multiple running around? Clearly this thing's bad. Good thing somebody went to go get a flamethrower. Because they understood that the hitting it with flame seemed to have stopped what they found earlier, right? Come on, childs, torch it. Oh no, this is looking bad. Get to torching. Alright, so did some of it break off and run away? Or was the whole intention to make multiple things to begin with? Some of you'll probably think that I'm overthinking this. If so, comment below. Alright, let's take a look at the dog thing, see if we notice any differences here. At this point, do we have to wonder if Wilford Brimley is the thing already? You know, you're not gonna find anything you like inside of this thing. Now you look at this, you don't see plastic silicone puppetry. It looks like living creature, largely, right? Dead creature. That's not a dog. It's imitation. Would the thing try to tell you how it operates? Finish imitating these dogs. And then what? Send the imitation dogs out, huh? What was the dog doing in the rec room? We just never put it away. Wandering around collecting intel. Could it have imitated him? Okay, so he gave the dog a shot there. Did he put that dog down? Oh, so it's the archive footage is where we're going to get to see the ship. Not the worst job of getting that to look like it's on a TV. And then they head off at the chopper. So, yeah, they do go see it, don't they? Well, but of course there'll be some reason that they can't get access to another base. They can't flee. They can't call for help just yet because storm, things like that, right? But it's understandable. They're in a remote location. How about that hat, guys? You ready for your MacReady cosplay? Matte painting, not bad. Not the best I've seen. It looks like concept art more so than matte painting. I know James Cameron did matte paintings in Escape from New York, but not this, I don't believe. You know, it looks like Ralph McCreary concept art. It's from like Star Wars. That's what it kind of looks like. I could see this scene looking a lot worse today. And the Norwegians blew it up. What? I guess I don't understand that statement. I mean, if something crashes on the ice, if that was, then it would have blown up on impact, right? Or had it lain in there? It's buried. They find it and then blow it up. They just decided to start digging with no real tools. They just decided to dig that deep one day. Like, are you kidding? I don't see a caterpillar. All right, so we're dealing with aliens. What can we do? It's nice having just a bunch of dudes around being adults. You won't see that in a Hollywood film ever again. It's just not happening. I think people could think of this movie as derivative of Alien. The creature comes in a different flavor. You aren't wondering who is the alien in Alien. This may not be possible to render live in the way that computers were capable of doing at the time. I don't think this is a live view of cells being attacked, what it would look like in 1982. I mean, maybe it's a demonstration video illustration of it as done on the Atari 2600. And then what happens here? Does it make a blue one? The imitation? %75% probability of team members being infected. One or more. But does it really multiply? Like, you don't see multiple people walking around as the thing together. There's like this sense that it transfers from one to another. If you watch other people talk about this on YouTube, they seem to think that's the case. What does it say? 2,700 hours, entire world infected. Like, we're really jumping at some conclusions here, especially as cut off as all of this is. You need to be radioing either for help or quarantine. I don't want to move any of that stuff, my dude. I don't think we see those dogs again. The dogs were probably being put down, but not really told so much to the audience. The two that ran out, that is. Can't burn the find the century. Wasn't it already burned? Wasn't that the point? Or did it just run out of things to attack and freeze? And now it's thawed. Those blankets, man, that was a ubiquitous fire blanket back in the day. For throwing over fires to put out fires. That's what that blanket was for. All right, now we know this guy gets alone. He's alone with the thing. Therefore, bald ginger with the beard, he will become one. Could have imitated a million life forms, a million planets. Could have changed any time. Now it wants life forms on Earth. Close. Going over the Norwegian notes. Or was it Blair's notes? Oh, Ski dozer, huh? A bulldozer for snow is suddenly ski. Something looks amiss here, and that is a lot of red-dyed Cairo syrup, if ever I knew. Oh, geez. Now, did we just see the imitation of the ginger, or is it the ginger being assimilated? Bennings. See, I'm telling you, there's too many characters that are just alike. Sound the alarm. Would you install an alarm on an isolated Antarctic base? Like, what, are we under attack? Yeah, I can tell from the hands it's not him. All right, at least we got everybody standing around to get a better picture of what we're dealing with here. Flame on. It's not just some static like statue there that gets lit ablaze. There's a little bit of movement to it that looks good. Our lead, MacReady, is just a skeptical dude. He doesn't necessarily possess any traits anybody else does. He's slightly more take charge about it, but he just doesn't trust anybody. And lacking the trust of anybody kind of propels the direction the group takes this fight. All right, guys, we need a buddy system up here. All right, let's see how this looks burned this time, huh? Anybody we don't see, we have to suspect, huh? Is this a Red Scare narrative, huh? Cold War going on in 1982. Ah, yes, the Rec Room. This movie didn't ruin Rec Rooms. Now, I do question the ability to, even if you knew the parts you needed, you're going to scavenge all that's required for like some kind of spacecraft or like and assemble it in like one day in Antarctica. Seems like a stretch. Even if you're not going to say that is a craft worthy of space, that it could reach other continents, it still seems like a stretch to me. It makes you try to understand and appreciate the possible intelligence of the thing. Maybe it has absorbed so many different races and beings that it has collected their memories in ways that it just is so much smarter than humans, right? Oh man, somebody get him his insulin. Is he the thing already, and this is his attempt to break down their communications? Killed the rest of the dogs. Oh, come on, the dogs were given shots. What is that, to help them sleep? The thing wanted to be us, of course. I mean, we did see he used his simulator to kind of suggest that it could take over Earth. And now this is his attempt to save Earth by cutting off everybody here. Or is it? Diabetes strength, boys. Said good shot. They're complimenting his right cross over there. Well, that definitely is a way to kill some dogs. Yeah, see, American audience are not so keen for that. Is it Robert Masur? Yeah, was that the guy who oversees the dogs? You're here for your own protection. Yeah, Wilford Brimley definitely needs a stash. Watch Clark. Which one is Clark? Like, boy. Now, if Wilford Brimley is not the thinganized yet, at what point does that happen? How do we know who's human? The perfect imitations. I don't think that's really the way they go about it. Don't they just, okay, we'll take some of your blood and burn it to see if it reacts instead of mixing with uncontaminated? He's too far gone. Get the rest of his notes. Oh, that looks bad. Oh, everything's getting sabotaged behind their back. See, the alien did not go out of its way to sabotage the ship. I'm the only one with access. Well, oh boy. By playing the guessing game here, it does invoke some return viewing to try to understand who is the thing when. Who's the one going around pulling the strings behind the scenes? Man, those are some crazy brows. Oh, everyone's turning against each other. Well, he's a good shot. We've already seen demonstration. Really, the guy's name's Windows? There's going to be a lot of guns getting turned on our fellow man in this movie. I wonder also if someone has been assimilated. If someone is an imitation, do they know they're an imitation? Or has the imitation been, in a way, programmed to think that it's legitimate? Maybe until it freaks out. I don't know why MacReady gets to call the shots. Did he have any kind of seniority at all? Is it that necessary to burn the bags of blood? We'll fight if it's half-too vulnerable and it takes us over. Then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill. It left to kill it. And then it's won. All right, who are we shooting up? Over. Found some shredded long johns, but the name tag was missing, so they don't know who. How do you find are sleeping? If someone is all right, what do we got over here? RJ MacReady vest torn up. So now we have to think, is he legit? I have never met anybody named Windows. Was that our first F-bomb? Seems like the kind of movie that'd be so ripe with F-bombs. Yeah, now we have buddy systemed up. Now, if you're not too accustomed to Antarctica, look, the visibility is so bad in this case of a storm. You have to stick to these ropes between the buildings, or you're gone. You get turned around and you just drift off, and it's over for you. They don't trust you, my dude. Now, if someone was the thing, they head off, and then with Blair alone, has he been converted at this point? See, the thing would want to come back to the others to infect them, wouldn't it? I think that's a no. Flares are sweet, aren't they? What's this over here? Possibly the remains of someone being imitated? So many questions. Somebody's gone to my shack, mess with my clothes, tried to frame me. Yeah, that's gotta be it. They're trying to frame me, eh? Okay, what do we got? Groaning. Someone's walking around out here. Anybody who's alone, you have to suspect, right? This guy came walking in here alone. We got to wonder about that. I found this. Now, maybe this guy is the thing framing MacReady. Nothing human could have made it back without a guide. Not entirely. I mean, what if you chose the right direction to go and you made it back? I mean, you got to account for the possibility, right? Oh man, they are all in on being against MacReady. Oh, you want to flame me, huh? Well, I've got the TNT. I got some confidence in that flare not touching that stick. Where's the rest as he gets jumped? There are no like jokes in this movie outside of just that frying the chess computer. This movie plays it really straight, but I think it excels very well at it. I do say you need some levity on occasion. You need one good we can have a laugh moment, maybe before things get too serious. You don't make a joke of the action. You don't make a joke of the suspense and the creature. You don't laugh at the creature. Nobody gets out of my sight. This is even more evasive than the buddy system. I'm going to hold this dynamite. All right, we're going to learn that this dude here was the creature. I think he died recently too. I think that actor died recently. Guy getting the chest compressions on the floor. On the gurney table, whatever. Oh, this is about to get gruesome. Oh, look at that. Oh man, I forgot the name of that. Deep focus. When you have foreground and background in focus like that. Oh geez. Oh no. And then arms rip off. Oh, this is gruesome stuff, dudes. And we do know that this would work better back then than it does now when we try to screw it up with computer. Flame on. And then the head pulls away. Oh, geez. And you could say this is kind of has a slow burn type thing to it, but there's excitement early enough. When I was a film festival programmer, we had what we called the 20-minute rule. Within 20 minutes is the movie any good? And if it's not, then you have to cut your losses and move on to something else. Well, in most Hollywood movies, within 20 minutes, you'll have your inciting incident. You'll have a point of something cool, exciting, endearing has occurred to keep you sticking with the movie. Oh, now you want to grow legs. And you'd need to see a litany of docs on how the behind the scenes stuff was done for most of this. I think a lot of the effects, I wouldn't call it stop motion. I don't think there's a ton of stop motion, but maybe some things in reverse. Just trying to go at it with a lot of ingenuity instead of just we did this in a computer. Flame on, yeah. Totally indiscriminate. It's not oh, we can't shoot it because it's in here. No, it is, we are taking this out now. Screw it. I like the yells we get out of this thing. What for? For your health. That's close enough, Clark. Yeah. Would the thing ask to be killed? We still have that knife on us. Not a thing. Just a guy that tried to attack MacReady. Do you, if you tie up everybody together and you find out one person's a thing, then everybody who's tied up with the thing is a goner, right? Like, you kind of seal their fate. Every little piece was an individual animal, built-in desire to protect its life. So this is where he comes up with the idea of the hot needle in the petri dish of blood sample test. Ooh. Let's see, what, if you try to attack it, would a hot needle suffice as an attack? Because you saw that the chest cavity opened when he came with the scalpel. Ooh. Now, how do we do that? Do we put a packet of blood behind the thumb? I can't remember who it is that turns out to have tested positive for Thing. I don't think it's going to be the first two in the sample. But does MacReady ever do the test? Right? He's the one administering the test for his own sake, right? Ah, good. Turns out I'm not one of the things. Relief. I guess you're okay. This is our little witch test, isn't it? If they're a witch, they don't drown. If they aren't a witch, they do drown. Oh no, there is a MacReady test. There we go. Sizzles. All right, so I guess Cooper's the doc. Now, what about the guy shot in the head? Yep, you shot a human, dude. This makes you a murderer, don't it? Just moving along. Palmer now. We're going to test Palmer. Just everybody forget about what just happened. You're the only one that could have got to that blood. We'll do you last. The blood itself is so dangerous. Like, this thing, couldn't it just be spitting and cutting itself and just putting blood all over everybody? Like, but it instinctively doesn't want to attack a group. Is that the only thing really stopping it? Now, see, we cut away for each of these stages in the transition, so it's not seamless. If done today and CGI, they would try to do it seamless. You would see the transformation occur in the shot. Get out of there. You're just standing there, dude. And there goes Windows. You could possibly get some laughs out of here. You kind of have the, like, stuffed mannequin puppet thing flowing about. Yeah, flame him. You're going to have to flame Windows too, man. Good thing that the thing is very flammable, right? Yeah, throw a stick of dynamite out for good measure. Though now you have chunks of it that could thaw out, right? There's never any concern for taking out any of these fires, you know? You'd think the whole base would have been lit up by now because they just kind of let things burn. See anybody else here one of these things, huh? What about eyebrows? Jump cut. They've cut him loose. They're leaving the last test subject alone. Because look, you don't want to have Childs there next to the guy if he turns out to be a thing, right? as they have learned. Do we have a little bit of couch comedy there? Anybody want to go test Blair, Wilford Brimley? Have you met a Wilford? I'm starting to wonder if people you come across named Will is actually short for Wilford and not William. We're going to go give the test to Blair. Keep an eye on things. He comes back, we're not with him, burn him. Pretty sound philosophy right there, I would say. Wood creaks. Always the giveaway, huh? We shouldn't have got the creaky wood. Now look, he makes a tunnel and you see what he's done with the tunnel. Give away that he was the thinganized. However, at what point did that occur? Knocking out the communications could be something the thing would want to do. We got something for you. Now the heck is this, really? What is this going to do? I realize it's a work in progress, but come on. We're going to use helicopter parts to build a spaceship, flying saucer, or the like. Let me ask you this. Does a flying saucer have to spin to be a flying saucer? Or can it be saucer-shaped and propelled in some way? But because it's a saucer shape, we can call it a flying saucer. We gotta find this guy. We gotta torch him. What, we got somebody walking around unauthorized? Yeah, you saw Childs go outside alone. And then power gets cut. Goes to sleep in the cold till a rescue team finds it, and the same crap happens again, huh? These things are not dying off of old age, 100,000 years old, thawed out, and it's ready to kill. That's so optimistic. We're not getting out of here alive. But neither is that thing. Good toss of the TNT, my dude. What's the plan now? Just burn more shit? That looks like that is the plan, yeah. Everybody seems to be committed to the let's not even bother trying to survive. Did I say Robert Masur? I think it's Richard, now that I think about it. So we seem to think that Childs took everything out with the... He breaks off by himself. Power goes out. And we never get confirmation that he's a human again. The generator's gone. Any way we can fix it? Oh, it's not out. It is missing. So if Childs goes off by himself as the thing, that means that Blair has infected him. He was the only one available to be the thing. Blair infected him. That's why they couldn't find Blair. He had tunneled under, somehow infected Childs. Yeah, we're just manly dudes setting our TNT. Not a whole lot to say right there. Why do we have so much TNT? Couldn't tell you. And there he is, and look, he gets the hand up in this guy. Oh man, that looks so good. Whoa. I've seen other films try to do the cloning attack of people by like getting under the skin with fingers like that too. Man, that looks quite authentic. Oh, he's pulling them away. Ooh. This is a movie that 2015, a little less than 5 years ago, really, was moving my grandma into a new house, and when they set up the cable, at some point during the move, turns on Sci-Fi Channel, make sure it's working. Was it the Sci-Fi Channel? I think it was Sci-Fi, and this was playing. This was playing on while we continued moving furniture in our house, and it's the thing. We just left it going. And this is about the point where the movie was in when we turned it on. Just hey, is the cable working? Gruesomeness. Now, yeah, you call to somebody in the thing and they don't come to you, suspect. Now, to pull that off, you have to use miniatures. It looks, I think some of that's miniature. Man, kind of hard to tell now. There's the stop motion. Yeah, see, we saw just the very end of the bottom of that thing just kind of spring, cut to full-sized apparition, right? Like as Ghostbusters would say. Full torso apparition. Kind of maybe would have been a better way to convey that it sprung out. I think you get the message, though. Eat some TNT, my dude. Now that which they're blowing up here, man, that looks full-scale authentic. I think you can make miniature explosions much better than miniature water. Water has qualities about it to droplets, to the size of how small a water drop can get. Even you slow it down, it doesn't look like an angry sea. Now, things be a little confusing here. The other black guy, we didn't see him get killed, did we? But Childs comes in, who is suspect, because he had went off on his own, right? You the only one who made it? Not the only one. Thought I saw Blair. I went out after him and got lost in the storm. Oh. Excuses. Fire's not going to last long, neither will we. They made a Thing video game that plays as a sequel, and I think it's inferred that Childs is a Thing and MacReady isn't. If you're worried about me, I don't think we're in much shape to do anything about it. No kidding. I suppose you could do blood tests. Is this an unsatisfactory conclusion for the movie? You're not totally sure if they killed the thing or not. I mean, if they're the only two humans, or one of them's a thing, one's a human, why not just go ahead and attack now? And there you go. John Carpenter's The Thing. He puts his name above the title on a lot of stuff compared to other filmmakers, you know? What do you guys think? You guys like this one? I'm assuming you do. Let me know. I'm not sure what I will be commenting on next, but hey, if you got some suggestions, let me know about that as well. Till next time, adios.